Hi there. Today's video has been made to show you how to multiply and divide fractions. Now, believe it or not, it's actually easier than adding or subtracting fractions. So without further ado, let's have a look at some examples I've got on the board here. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, you must be at this stage reasonably confident in multiplying and dividing. If not, you need to practice those exercises. Okay, let's have a look at the first example. At the top of the board we have 4/5, and we're going to multiply that by 7/8. Now this is how straightforward it is. You just multiply the numerators and the denominators. After that you may have to simplify the fraction. So let's have a look at it. So let's start with the numerators. So we're going to go 4 times 7. 4 times 7 is 28. Right, now let's multiply the bottom numbers, which are the denominators. 5 times 8 is 40. Okay, now what we're looking for now is what we call the highest common factor. Okay, there is another tutorial showing you how to do that. Okay, but I'm going to go straight into it. I don't really want to diversify from this tutorial. Okay, so the highest common factor in this case is going to be 4. 4 will go into 28 and 40. 4 will go into 28 7 times. 4 will go into 40 10 times. And there you have it. That's your answer. So 4/5 multiplied by 7/8 turns out to be 7/10. Okay, let's have a look at the bottom example. Now here we're going to multiply 3/7 by 5/9. So once again, you're going to multiply the numerators and then you're going to multiply the denominators. 3 times 5 is 15. 7 times 9 is 63. Now this is where you have to be reasonably confident with multiplying and dividing. So again, we're going to look for the highest common factor. That's the highest number that will divide into both numbers evenly. And in this case, it's going to be 3. So 3 goes into 15 5 times. 3 goes into 63 21 times. So your final answer is 5/21. So 3/7 multiplied by 5/9 turns out to be 5/21. Okay, now let's have a look at a few examples showing you how to divide fractions. Again, it's really simple once you've done a few of these. So we're going to do 2/5. And we're going to divide that by 3/9. Now, whenever you're dividing, there's a very simple rule we apply here. We always flip the second fraction over. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the first fraction over to this side, the equal sign, so it's 2/5. Now watch what I'm going to do to the second fraction. Now we're going to multiply it as opposed to dividing it. So we're going to flip the second fraction, so instead of 3/9, we're going to have 9/3. Okay, now all we simply do here is multiply across. 2 times 9 is 18. 5 times 3 is 15. But we can't leave it like that. This is what we call an improper fraction, a top-heavy fraction, so we have to simplify it. If you look at one of my other tutorials, it will show you how to do this. Okay, so what we need to do, again, we need to find the highest common factor. So the highest common factor in this case is going to be 3. Okay. 3 goes into 18 6 times. 3 goes into 15 5 times. But we're still left with a top-heavy fraction. What we do now, we're left with 6/5. What we do now, we actually say, how many times does 5 go into 6? 5 goes into 6 once. Now what we need to do is keep the same denominator, which is the 5. So we said 5 goes into 6 once with 1 left over. So your answer is 1 1/5. So 2/5 divided by 3/9 is 1 1/5. Okay, I'm just going to put this up here because it's not really showing on my screen. I'll rub it out. So that's your final answer. Let's have a look at another example. we go 3/7, and we're going to divide that by 2/7. Okay, so remember, we're going to move the first fraction over. We're going to keep it as it is, so 3/7. We're going to change the operation, so instead of dividing, we're going to multiply. And remember what we do to the second fraction? We flip it over. So on this side of the equal sign, it's 2/7. On this side, it's going to be 7/2. And all we do is simply multiply across. 3 times 7 is 21. 7 times 2 is 14. Now for those of you who are pretty good at multiplication, you're going to know the highest common factor straight away here. It's going to be 7, because again we're left with a top heavy fraction, an improper fraction, so we have to simplify that. So let's do that now. Okay, so we're going to divide both of these by 7, and we're going to end up by saying, right, 21 divided by 7 will give you 3. 14 divided by 7 will give you 2. Now again we're left with a top heavy fraction, so we have to simplify it further. Okay, how many times does 2 go into 3? Well, 2 goes into 3 once. With how many left over? 1. We keep the same denominator, which is the 2. Alright, I'll say that once again. We've got 3/2 here. We say how many times does 2 go into the 3? 2 goes into the 3 once, with 1 left over, and keep the same denominator. So 3/7 divided by 2/7 equals 1.5. Thank you for listening. See you later.